The bustling aisles of Metromart, a lively supermarket in downtown Richmond, were filled with the sounds of registers beeping, shopping carts rolling, and the low hum of conversation. It was just another busy Saturday afternoon. Behind the counter at Register 7 was Jamal Carter, a 28-year-old cashier with a calm demeanor and a natural ability to connect with customers. Having worked at Metromart for 3 years, Jamal had earned the respect of his colleagues and regular shoppers alike. His latest customer, Mrs. Reynolds, a friendly elderly woman, smiled warmly as Jamal finished ringing up her items. "Take care, Mrs. Reynolds," Jamal said with a genuine smile. "You too, Jamal. You're such a pleasure to deal with," she replied as she made her way out of the store. Just as Mrs. Reynolds left, a sharply dressed woman named Catherine Turner entered, her heels clicking sharply against the floor. Catherine, a woman in her early 50s, moved briskly through the aisles, her sharp eyes scanning for the quickest checkout lane. When she saw Jamal behind Register 7, her face immediately hardened. After picking out a few items, Catherine made her way toward the checkout lines. The lanes were crowded, but Jamal's register was open and empty. Still, her expression soured as she deliberately avoided him. "Not this one," Catherine muttered to herself, pushing her cart toward Register 2, where the line was long. Her impatience grew as the minutes dragged on. Seeing her frustration, a young employee named Lisa approached with a friendly smile. "Excuse me, ma'am, Register 7 is open and has no line," Lisa offered, motioning toward Jamal's lane. Catherine's lips tightened, and with a reluctant sigh, she steered her cart toward Jamal's register, her face filled with disdain. "Good afternoon, ma'am. How's your day going?" Jamal asked with a polite tone. Catherine didn't respond, her face tense as she slammed a carton of milk and a bag of apples onto the conveyor belt. Jamal continued scanning her items, his professionalism unwavering, even as her hostility radiated. As he reached for a loaf of bread, Catherine's voice cut through the air. "Stop!" Jamal paused mid-motion, confused. "Is there an issue with the bread, ma'am?" "I don't want you touching my groceries," Catherine snapped, her gaze icy. Jamal's face tightened in disbelief, but he kept his voice steady. "Ma'am, I assure you, I'm fully trained. Your items are in safe hands." Catherine's eyes narrowed. "I don't care about your training. I don't want someone like you handling my food. Give me someone else." A few customers in line exchanged uncomfortable glances as the tension in the store grew. Jamal remained calm, taking a slow breath to steady himself. "If you'd prefer, I can call a supervisor for you," he suggested, trying to remain composed. "Yes, do that," Catherine demanded, crossing her arms and glaring. Jamal, slightly taken aback, politely responded, "I'm sorry. Did you say you'd like to speak with a manager?" Catherine's tone turned cold. "I don't want you touching my groceries. Call someone else?" Despite the sting of her words, Jamal remained professional. "I assure you, ma'am, there's no issue with your items being handled by me. I want another cashier." "Now," Catherine snapped, her voice rising. Jamal kept his calm. "I can call the manager, but I can assure you, I am qualified and prepared to assist you." As Catherine stood there, her anger growing, a tall figure emerged from the back. Mark Owens, the store manager, a no-nonsense man in his early 40s, walked over with purpose, having been notified by Lisa. "Is there a problem here?" Mark asked, his tone firm. Catherine straightened her posture, attempting to assert control over the situation. "Yes, I want someone else to ring on my groceries. I don't want him handling my items." Mark's eyes briefly flicked to Jamal, who stood silently, but with dignity, before meeting Catherine's gaze. "Ma'am," Mark said calmly, "Jamal is one of our most skilled employees. If there's a problem with his service, I'd be happy to hear it." Catherine's face twisted in disgust. "I don't want to be served by him. I don't care who he is." Mark's voice remained unwavering. "Here at Metromart, we don't discriminate against anyone, whether it's our staff or our customers." Catherine's tone grew sharper. "I'm a paying customer. I have the right to choose who serves me." Several other shoppers had now paused, sensing the rising tension. Some were whispering among themselves, shaking their heads in disapproval. Mark stepped closer to the counter, his voice calm but firm. "You have the right to respectful service, just like everyone else in this store. And that's exactly what Jamal is giving you. Catherine scoffed, clearly outraged. I don't want him near my groceries. It's as simple as that. Mark's voice held a subtle edge now. The only thing you need to understand, ma'am, is that we treat all our customers equally. Jamal is more than qualified to help you. Catherine's lips quivered with rage. This is unacceptable. I demand to speak to someone higher up. Mark's expression remained composed. I am the highest authority here. I'm the manager, and you're speaking to me. Catherine's hands balled into fists as she realized she had no leverage. This isn't over, she spat, glaring at both Mark and Jamal. You'll regret this. By now, the tension had spread throughout the store, and a few customers were discreetly recording the exchange. Mark, maintaining his calm demeanor, spoke once more. We do not tolerate discrimination at this store, he said firmly. If you cannot respect our staff, we can no longer assist you. Catherine's face flushed red with embarrassment as she grabbed her purse and stormed off, her groceries left behind. A murmur rippled through the crowd, and a voice from the back called out, "Goodbye." Catherine froze, her humiliation evident as the crowd looked on. "People like you don't belong here," someone muttered as she hurried toward the exit, leaving behind her cart and items. A small applause began to ripple through the crowd, starting with an older woman near the front. Jamal stood still, processing what had just happened, when Mark turned to him with a slight nod of reassurance. "You okay?" Jamal nodded, though his hands were still shaking. "Thank you for standing up for me." Mark gave him a reassuring pat on the back. "You didn't deserve that. No one should ever have to experience that." As a few customers approached Jamal, offering kind words and support, the video of the incident quickly went viral, spreading across social media. People praised both Mark for his strong stance and Jamal for his dignified response. Metromart issued a statement reiterating its commitment to a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination. Later that evening, Jamal reflected on the incident. While the experience had been painful, it also reaffirmed his belief that respect and kindness should never be optional, no matter the circumstances. The events at Metromart that day became a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up against intolerance, regardless of the personal cost. Jamal's composed response in the face of such blatant disrespect was a testament to his professionalism and strength of character. Mark's unwavering support for his employee not only protected Jamal's dignity, but also set a clear example for everyone watching that discrimination, in any form, will not be tolerated. As the story spread online, it sparked conversations about respect, fairness, and the responsibility of businesses to foster inclusive environments. The outpouring of support for Jamal was overwhelming, proving that kindness and integrity still hold immense value in today's world. Customers, colleagues, and even strangers rallied behind Jamal, reinforcing the idea that doing what's right isn't just the right thing to do. It's what brings communities together. For Jamal, it wasn't just about a moment of adversity. It was about creating an environment where every person, regardless of background, could feel valued and respected. The incident became more than just an isolated confrontation. It became a symbol of the power of standing together in the face of injustice, showing that, in the end, humanity and compassion will always prevail.